Ndawe, ndawe, ndawe. That is the greeting that we hear a lot, especially when it involves Mandawi spirits. We greet them with that greeting. Ndawe. Now, today we're going to talk about the Maroon ancestral cloth, this ancestral cloth, Njeti, and why we are being shown this ancestral cloth in our dreams, or sometimes we are told that we need to get it. Sometimes it comes in our visions. Mandawe's Njeti cloth. Now, Njeti ancestral cloth comes in different colors, meaning that whatever color that they choose, Mandawi spirits choose to give to you, that means you've got a role to play related to that specific color. Now, when they give you Maroon Njeti, it is a beautiful thing, isn't it? When you're seeing it, sometimes it comes before they reveal dreams, or sometimes the dreams comes and then Njeti ancestral cloth comes. They show you that that is the Njeti color. Now, what does it mean? What does this color mean for us? Now, remember with Mandawi spirits, these are water spirits. The water spirits, sometimes they come with our ancestors. Now, when they come to us with our ancestors, it means we get introduced to our ancestors who carried the Mandawi water spirits, or who are working closely with the Mandawi water spirits. Now, when they choose the color for you, even your dreams are going to be different from someone with a different Mandawi Njeti cloth. This one is based on earth and mud color. So, meaning that these water spirits will be taking you to earth and anything to do with people who live on that earth, the environment, animals that live on that earth as well, how we're supposed to be in balance with each other. That is when they give you this Njeti color, the brown or maroon color, as others understand it to be. Now, what it means is that in your dreams, Mandawi spirits will be teaching you about anything related to this color, maroon color. So they'll be teaching you about human beings, like people as we are, what we're supposed to be doing, how we're supposed to be living with each other. The things that can, if we don't look at them properly, can damage us, can affect us health-wise. Remember that Mandawi spirits, they believe in that people have to thrive. Animals have to thrive in the environment that we're living in, isn't it? Everything has to be working together in alignment. So they'll be giving you dreams, teaching you about how we're supposed to be living in the environment that we live in as people. How we're supposed to be looking after each other. As human beings, we're supposed to be looking after the animals. So that is why when you see in our dreams, Mandawi spirits dreams, especially when it's related to maroon colors, they'll be teaching us about human psyche, what can affect us if we do certain things the wrong way, if we live with each other the wrong way, if we're treating each other the wrong way. And sometimes they'll even teach us about the things that can affect us health-wise, meaning that they'll be teaching us about the viruses, they'll be teaching us about the bacteria that we get, they'll be teaching us about things like the fungi, things like that. That is Mandawi spirits. In their dreams, their teachings will be like that. So, we are like the eco warriors. That is the Mandawi spirits with this Njeti color. So, when they are teaching us about animals, they will be teaching us about how animals are supposed to be, how we're supposed to be living amongst them, and how they can be affected by the things that we do to the environment. They'll be teaching us about how we're supposed to be, minding, not even minding, how we're supposed to be looking after them in the right way. like with these Njeti colors, they'll be showing us that a lot of us will be seeing dreams where they show us animals in close proximity with each other, like in zoos, that they're showing you that the consequences of these animals living like this will be this, they will affect us, and we're affecting the animals like this. Now, when they're teaching us about the environment with this color, Njeti color, they'll be teaching us about our rivers, right? They'll be teaching us about floods, droughts, you know, the way we're living. If we build this way, or if we do this, we create this friction in our soils, the way we plant our things, we will be affected, especially when there's rain, there's a lot of rain, you know, there will be those kind of things like wind, they will cause soil erosions and all those kind of things. That is the manda we're teaching dreams when it comes to this color Njeti. Now, most of our dreams with these colors, they are based on that. They will be teaching you about what causes drought, what we're supposed to be doing to prevent things like that. Now, what is causing all this kind of, what happens when people are living in these buildings that are too close to each other like that, or they are on top of each other like that? What will happen to our psyche if we don't look at these kind of things? Because they will affect us in future. Those are Mandawi spirits teaching dreams. So they'll be teaching us about things like that. Now, when they're teaching us about rivers as well, they'll be showing us that as human beings, we create problems for our rivers. They'll be showing you in your dreams. They'll be showing these dreams where they're showing that the consequences of putting this kind of things, throwing these kind of things in rivers will create these problems for the living organism in those rivers. And as well, they will affect us as well, because we have to use those waters as well for our planting or for whatever we farm, small farm or big farms. Those are Mandawi teaching dreams. That is when they give you this card. Now, a lot of us, they show us failing a lot in those dreams, because remember, they're about people living harmoniously or living in balance with what they have, right? Treating each other properly, right? Sometimes the dreams that they give us when they're testing us, they'll be testing us about a lot of us. We are being shown that, especially when it comes to farming. Their farming dreams will be teaching you. A lot of us, we see dreams where they're teaching us about how we're supposed to farm. That is Mandawi spirits with this color. How we're supposed to farm. The reason why they show us those dreams where you see a lot of farming and stuff like that, and they're giving us tips, farm like this, farm like that. The reason why they do that is that they're stopping us from doing the wrong things that will affect our environment. If we are doing the wrong things, we are farming the wrong way. Therefore, we will affect the environment that we live in. Because whatever that we do, if we don't do it properly, it will affect us in future. So that is why they tend to teach us about those things. You see vegetables, vegetations in those dreams with this Mandawi Njeti color. Now, when they're teaching us as well about, remember this, I'm talking about the dreams that comes with this Njeti color, because they teach us about those things, right? Now, when they're teaching us about, let's say, the trees, you know, chopping trees. You see in your dreams, there will be a lot of trees. They're showing you trees. They're showing you mountains. They're showing you a lot of things. Like sometimes we get excited in those dreams. They even show you cutting trees and stuff like that. And after that, you see that you're failed in your dream, because they'll be trying to show you that the consequences of doing this kind of deforestation will create that problem in the future. So therefore, it shows in the dream that you're doing something wrong, like you're cutting trees, or you see people cutting trees, and then the next thing you see floods, or you see just drought, or you see some wind coming in, and you see a lot of things that when you're cutting trees, you making a place, an open place like that, or when you're building a lot of things in one particular place, you will see that the consequences after that dream will be this. They'll be showing you that you'll see this, you'll have floods, you'll have droughts after they've shown you things like that in the dream. Right? So meaning that they show us that if we build in this way, right, the consequences will be this damage. That is the Mandawe, Maroon, and Njeti dreams and the reason for that. So when they're teaching this, I'm talking about Maroon and Njeti and the dreams that comes with it, meaning that the Mandawe spirits, they want us to understand about what? Our animals now. When they're teaching us about birds, the migration and stuff like that, they will show you in the dreams the birds. You see a lot of birds, then they'll show you when birds are mating with each other, they are doing this, they are doing that. Then people, as human beings, we come and create these kind of buildings, take away trees, take away these things that these animals will be thriving on. When we take them away, the consequences will be a lot of death. That is Maroon and Njeti. Now, when they're teaching us about bacteria as well, because remember, it is Mandawe spirits, they come in different forms. So they'll use all living organisms. And when they want to understand the kind of bacteria that comes with the way that we are treating our environment or the way that we live, will be like this. The teaching dreams will be that they show you doing other things, not doing things that are not doing the right things. And then they show you the bacteria you get from that. That is their teaching dreams. So we are like eco-warriors when we have this Njeti ancestral cloth. And what they don't like with this ancestral cloth is the killing. Sometimes we kill things due to fear. A lot of us, you'll see the dreams where they're trying to teach us about how we're supposed to be living with things like that we are fearful of, like snakes. As human beings, remember that we are feeding off each other with everything that we live with. All the ants you see in your dreams, we're supposed to be living off each other. There is a reason why you see certain ants in particular places. There are reasons why you see certain snakes in particular places. That's what they will be teaching you in those dreams when you have this ancestral cloth indeed. Now, when they're teaching you about what you're supposed to not be fearful of, especially things like snakes, as human beings, they will show you even the plants that you're supposed to be growing. That is what they will be showing you with this ancestral cloth. The dreams will come with testing, they will come with them teaching you about things that we're supposed to be using and as human beings to stop things that we are fearful of from affecting us, instead of just killing them because we don't understand them or we don't know how to live with them. Meaning that if we are killing off these species that we don't understand, we are creating problems for us in the future because we are getting things from those animals that we don't understand, right? Meaning that with snakes, you can get a lot of information from them. You can get actually even understand about DNA of people and the tribes using snakes. I'm not talking about the snake as it is used with the way that we use. I'm talking about the snakes as it secretes other things, meaning that you can, from those, whatever that it leaves behind, you can learn about particular place, the particular environment, and things that people have been eating, meaning that the dietary needs, the dietary needs of those places. You can learn about plants as well, because with snakes, the things that the snake discards, it's got a lot of information in that. Now, this is the things that we learn with Mandawe spirits from this ancestral cloth. What I'm talking about is things that everyone will be learning with that. Now, when it comes to these flies that you see, I keep on doing this, swatting it like that, it means that when Mandawe spirits are teaching us about it is that we should not be killing them. What I'm doing, we should not be killing them because there's a reason why you see it like that, right? We can talk to each other. We can try to understand each other, the human beings and flies. Now, that was just that one because the fly just flew. All right. So when they're teaching us about the Maroon Njeti, you will see different kinds of animals in your dreams. these animals are not just coming like as such, like just animal. They are coming with the teaching dreams, meaning that they'll be teaching you about their reproductive systems. Sometimes they'll be teaching you that, especially for those who throw things in our rivers, right? They'll be teaching you that, look, the things that we throw into our rivers, they affect those living organisms or the living things within rivers, meaning that even the food that we get off those rivers, there will be obviously, we are changing the genetic system of those animals, isn't it? With those that lives within the sea, or even the plants, we are changing the genetic system by putting things that are not necessary in those rivers, meaning that even as the people who are consuming those things, or the plants that we use, we water with the water from the rivers, they will be affecting us, because they've got some things that they are not needed in there. When we consume them, it will affect us, right? They'll be showing us in those dreams. So this ancestral cloth comes with that message, meaning that when they show it to you, you're supposed to be promoting that. That is what they expect us to do, to promote that bit for them. They want us to let others know that certain things they do, they are not right. Certain things, these are the things they're supposed to be doing. When you see someone doing the wrong things, especially people throwing things into the rivers, you're supposed to be correcting them. That is what this maroon ancestral cloth is all about. Now, if you're passing buildings where you see people are just building things, where you can see that there's likelihood that if it rains a lot, or they're near the rivers, it means that if it rains a lot as well, the rivers get flooded. So they'll be affected. And then there's diseases as well that comes with all the water that is just all over the place like that. Children will be playing in those dirty waters and stuff like that. You're inhaling all those kind of things that comes in there that are not right, which will affect us. Those are the Mandawi spirits teaching dreams. And as well, they want us to practice it in real life. Now, when it comes to animal cruelty as well, yes, Mandawi spirits will show us and they will teach us that as Mandawi spirit maroon wearers, we're supposed to be making sure that when we see people ill-treating each other, people, person to person, human being to human being, we should say something about it. When we see human beings treating animals the wrong way, we should say something about it, because that is what they expect of us, because they are teaching us in dream state that we're supposed to be like this, like that, caring for each other like this, like that, looking after our environment like this, like that. And as well, a lot of us fail as well in those dreams, especially when they're showing you those nice big houses. Especially the Maroon Njeti people, they see those nice, beautiful swimming pools, big houses and stuff like that. They start fencing them in those dream states. Mandawi spirits, what they're trying to say is that greed can create problems. Wanting more than you need. I'm not saying there's something wrong with having a beautiful thing where you can go in and swim. Now, I'm talking about when they are showing us greed. You know, even in that dream, that what you want, you're not even going to use that. You want a big home that, I'm talking about Mandawi spirits, Maroon Njeti, right? Remember, this is their teaching. It's not me. If you have a nice, beautiful house, you have it. But you might have it and not actually even go into all the rooms, right? Mandawi spirits are showing us that when we want something that is something we don't actually need, we end up being hoarders. We hoard things that we can't, meaning that therefore causing others problems, meaning that if you want this, you want that, what is going to happen to the next person if you have all this big place and others are living in small areas? Because of what? You want to hoard. So those will be the Mandawi's teaching dreams. Now, sometimes they teach us about, especially this, a lot of us now, we have paves. We create in our yard, instead of growing our own vegetables so that we can sustain ourselves, which is Mandawi's teaching dreams. Remember that they teach us about how we're supposed to be living off our land. Now, I'm talking about the Maroon Njeti. That is in their teachings. In your dreams, you'll get all this information. Now, they'll be showing you that human beings cannot think about things that can sustain themselves with, meaning that instead of growing food, you just want a yard full of paved, it's all paved. Now, when are you going to grow food that can sustain you? Why do you have to put all that where there's no soil? I'm talking about Mandawi's teaching dreams now. Here I am not judging. Now, they'll be teaching us in those dreams, especially when you have this, you'll see this. They will be showing you, you're there. This is tester now. I'm giving you a test. You'll be there. Mandawi spirits are showing you there, looking at a nice place, ooh, nicely paved. You're even in that dream, you're thinking, wow, I love this paving in this house. Woo! There's actually no soil. You're not going to even get any dust. Then you get failed because Mandawi spirits teaching dreams, and this Maroon Njeti means that these kind of things are not needed. We're supposed to be growing our food instead of going to the shops to buy it. We're supposed to be using our land to grow our own food because they are eco warriors. We need to feed off our land. Now, when Mandawi spirits, the way they're coming to us now, and a lot of us with this Maroon Njeti, because a lot of things have happened to us people, whereby we have been put in what they call it. We have been how do you say it? We've been put inside borders, meaning that when we can no longer live off land. We cannot move from one place to another the way we were doing things in the olden days. Now, those things have created problems because if you cannot move from one place to another when you're not living off it, when the land is no longer habitable or is no longer growing food that you need to eat, therefore you cannot go to other places. You're stuck, then you fight off food with each other. The Mandawi's teaching dreams, they're teaching us about the consequences of these borders. Putting people and creating these places where they cannot move and go to other places. It means that we're going to be fighting each other for small things. Now, since the problem has been created already, now they're taking us back. Now they're coming to us in full force, giving us these Njeti colors so that we can start afresh. Yes, we have gone through all these things. Now, let's try again. Let's go back to the roots. Let's look at how we can be helping each other live very well and thrive in these small spaces that we live in. Now, they will be teaching us, if we have built houses next to rivers, then they will be teaching us, showing us that since now obviously it is what it is, we can build in this way so that we can stop rivers from flooding into our houses and stuff like that. These are Mandawi Njeti, Maroon Njeti teaching dreams. They'll be teaching us about how we're supposed to be building, meaning that they'll show you how to build so that we stop the floods in those dreams. Now, when they're teaching us about bacteria as well in those dreams, they'll be teaching us as well about what we, right? So when the teaching will be like they're showing us that people, you have been getting it wrong. Now, corrections. Let's do it this way so that corrections can be made. Now, fail in those dreams. Now, remember that I'm explaining the Mandawi's Njeti color, Maroon, and their teaching dreams and what they expect of us. Now, when you're failing in those dreams, they will show you things that are not nice, nasty things affecting you, affecting us. Meaning that those nasty dreams that you get where something happens and you get the most painful thing that you can get, or you get bitten by things that you didn't even know exist inside waters, obviously, because they will even tell you the names of the things that, the nasty thing that has bitten you that is from the water, or if it is a virus well, not virus, if it is a bacteria, they will tell you about the nasty thing that is created by that, right? That bacteria. They'll tell you the name of it so that you can go and study and understand it. But then they don't just tell you about it and just leave it like that. They tell you about it and then they give you the organic way of dealing with that, meaning that their teaching will be, now, to stop that, you use this. Right? That is the manner we teach in dreams. Now, as well as when they're teaching us about things that are created by this natural phenomenon, things like the lightnings, and they show you about laws of wind, what it does, what creates it, and stuff like that. Remember, these are teaching dreams. They will be showing you this is created by that. That is created by that. Now, certain things. Now, let's go to human beings now, because I'm thinking about, I was going to explain lightning, but now let me go back to human beings. So to explain how Mandawi's teaching dreams are like, especially when you have this Maroon and Njeti. So we can go to the lightning afterwards. Now, when Mandawi spirits are teaching you about the human being, meaning that they will teach you everything to do with the human body. The human body. The way when we're eating, what happens inside us. Yeah, sometimes it's nasty. They're teaching us about everything to do with everything, the skin, what's even in there, things that we don't want to see, right? The muscles, things that can cause other things, right? I'm talking about human body. This is Mandawi spirits. They teach us about those things. Remember that the purpose why they teach us about those things, they show us that by doing this, the consequences will be this. Obviously, they have to show you that if you do this, it's going to create these things, right? Like some other things, even mating, right? They show you mating. People mate like this, but as well, some other matings are not like. Remember that sometimes, if you have this in Njeti, remember they want to teach you about reproductive system, right? Meaning that sometimes for you as Mandawi spirits, Maroon and Njeti carrier, you have to understand what they're talking about. Now, mating means a male and a female meet and they reproduce, right? Now, human beings, they will show you how it is done and what happens actually there when the thing is happening, right? Then when they're teaching you about animals as well, they will have to teach you, you will have to understand, right? Meaning that they will teach you what it is like. Meaning that remember that they look at us as everything has to be, we have to understand animals. For us to understand animals, we need to understand them, like properly understand them. So they will be teaching you, they'll show you what it is like, the mating, the reproductive system of these particular animals and why certain things like this are happening and why certain things are like this are happening. Now, naturally, this is the normal thing that it's supposed to happen. But when we do the wrong things as human beings, we do the wrong things to our environment. Therefore, these things are going to be, now, the reproduction system, there's going to be a lot of things happening to human beings, right? That are not nice. There are going to be a lot of things that are happening to animals that are not nice, right? When people are start fighting about things and there's that kind of problems there, people are not living harmoniously with each other. You're going to go have people who are going crazy, right? Behaving strangely, not the right way. That is Mandawi teaching dreams, meaning that this leads to that. Meaning that when we do the wrong things like that, we'll have people behaving in this particular way, or we'll have animals behaving this particular way, which is not normal. Or you'll have trees even behaving in this particular way, which is not normal, right? Even our seasons, they're going to be changing in this way. Climate change, that's why we have climate change. Because of the things that we cause, we create to our environment, the wrong things that we do to our environment will create this kind of problems, right? Where we have rains that doesn't make sense. It comes and something happens else. You know, what we used to know that rain comes like this, you start seeing clouds doing this like this and do that, you smell it and it's raining. But now we are no longer even being directed by animals, meaning that we can see animals behaving in a particular way, meaning that we are being shown that before it rains, these animals will behave this way. Now, those things are no longer there because remember what we have done? We have created chaos, meaning that animals are no longer behaving in a way that is expected so that we can live with each other and understand each other when they're behaving each other. We can get warnings that when animals are doing this, that means even us, we need to start being alert because something big is coming here. But if there is chaos, there is misalignment of the way we're living with each other. That means we're not going to understand each other. Animals are going to be just running in case for no reason. And even us, we're going to be confused why they're running instead of being guided by each other. We give them warning, they give us warning. Now, even with the trees, we're chopping them. Meaning that when we're doing this, because obviously we are doing this because we want to build, right? We want to build and build and build and build, right? We want to do all these things and stuff like that. Now, we are no longer getting this fresh air that we're supposed to get as human beings. I'm talking about this Njeti color. This is the things that comes with the teaching dreams. When you see this Njeti color, all these things are going to come to your dream state. They will be teaching you about the things I'm talking about. Now, they'll be showing you that doing this, doing that, the consequences is that you're not going to even be able to get fresh air. Fresh air, nice fresh air, you're not going to get it. Now, when you're building off this, building off these mountains, building of that, now, nature is supposed to be left, at least have something that you can look, you can feed off each other. That is got a reason. The mountain, when it is like that, is got a reason why it's there. Why do we have to spoil it by being greedy? We want to live on top of this, but forgetting that we are living off that. This is the Manda we teach in dreams. That's why you'll see a lot of us with mountains in those dreams. They don't just come like it is mountain. You see it in the background. No, it is teaching. They are showing you that look at the beauty. Now the beauty comes with what the human beings does. They take off that beauty. They create something that is going to be creating health hazard. Now, when you've got this, that means you need to promote. You need to let people become aware of things that we are, as human beings, are doing wrong. Now, let's take it to the zoo. The zoo. The zoo. We're keeping our animals in that kind of places. Now, what happens to the psyche? Just imagine you just being put in one place and then you're given someone to mate with. And then that is it, is you. You're just looking at the walls. You can't do what you're supposed to be doing as an animal. Move from one place to another. Go do the animal things that you're supposed to be doing. What happens to the psyche? And even the generation that comes, being created by that animal. Creating trauma. Yes, animals do get it. The same way as human beings get trauma. You animals as well, it affects them, psyche. It affects them like that. And if they're affected, remember that we're supposed to live off each other. That is why sometimes you see in our dreams, I can be like this and turn into fish and turn into mountain and turn into the thing. No, not necessarily mountain. But I can turn into a fish, I can turn into the tree, I can turn into things. Because I am in one with all that living organism, right? That is the Manda way. So, meaning that now, if one is affected, the other one can be happy. Remember, because we're supposed to be in balance with each other. If one is affected negatively, you cannot be positively living properly. That means something there is going to be misplaced. Something there is going to be going wrong. That is the Manda way. Maroon Njeti color. It comes with that information. So don't be surprised when in your dreams you see a lot of this information. You see plants, you see vegetables, you see fruits, because Mandawi spirits promote health. You see bugs, you see all different kinds of bugs. You see all different kinds of what else? Different kinds of rains and stuff like that, because they're teaching dreams. You see drought in your dreams. You don't understand what is happening because they're teaching you. You need to try to understand the message that comes with that. They show you lots of animals dying. the messages in there is very strong because they're showing you that some things that we are doing, they really will create that. You see lots of people dying as well due to certain things because of what we do. It affects people because the consequences will be death. And that is what Mandawi spirits are trying to avoid. They are taking us back so we can avoid those things. So we can thrive and we can look after our animals, we can look after our environment. That is the Mandawi Maroon Njeti. That is just that. So watch out for those dreams. And yes, watch out for those dreams. And when it comes to human psyche, when it comes to that, mental health, families, Mandawi spirits, they promote unity. We have to be with each other like that. Mandawi spirits, especially this one, will go. Mandawi spirits, all of them, the different colors, they promote family unity, meaning that families have to stay strong with each other. They have to do everything necessary to stay strong. It is difficult in this environment that we live in because of the circumstances that are creating all this chaos, isn't it? Now families cannot be together because of things we are fighting over, things that Mandawi spirits are teaching us to be aware of. So they'll be teaching us about families. The things that when we do them wrong, that means they will affect our families in this way. The things that we do wrong, they will affect our children in this way. You'll see a lot of children, a lot of things that are happening, you know, a lot of those things. Mandawi spirits comes with everything that can be wrong with our societies. They'll be showing you that when we don't do things this way, we're going to have everything wrong within our societies. Right? If we do this, don't do the right things, it's going to create this society that is like this. That is the Maroon Njeti. Now, when it comes to this, how you get it, how you get the Maroon Njeti, that means you can get it as in, like I said, you seeing it in a dream, or remember that when you're activating this color, when this is activated, when you're being shown that it's activated, it means that, remember what? This is about human beings, animals, plants, and what? Oh, remember that with plants, they'll be teaching you about how the plant is even, what they call it, when plants, they are pollinized, right? When this and that meet, and this fly or whatever bee goes there and create this, carry this pollen and takes it to that place and takes it to that place. If we kill off these bees, we're not going to get that, meaning that we're not going to get the things being done the natural way, but then we're going to get artificially inseminated things. Even with the plants, they will show us those things, that artificial as well. Mandawi spirits, remember, they are pure. So by pure, I mean circumstances now have caused us to create things in a different way. But they'll be showing you even all these things, the way we are putting things, even plants, they'll show you too many plants, growing too many plants in one place and stuff like that, and doing because we want to be selling and making money off it. This is going to create this, because now we end up using artificial things, meaning that we are creating things that are going to genetically and change our genetic, or change the DNA, or whatever they call it. They will change it. They will show you in those dreams that, look, you'll see yourself in those big places, full of a lot of things, the plants that are just growing all together in one place. There's no space, there's nothing, there's no air to breathe in, there's no sun, the right sun coming in. When I'm talking about the right sun, I'm talking about the real sun coming in, meaning that everything is artificial. Therefore, whatever that comes out is artificial. Therefore, it's going to change things in us, isn't it? When we're eating things that are artificial as well, we are changing that. Our digestive system is changing as well. It's turning into something different, right? I mean, the children that we're going to be raising afterwards, or getting afterwards, they're going to be different, right? They're not going to be like as supposed to be. Those are teaching dreams I'm talking about. They'll be teaching you about those things. I'm not coming up with this. They'll be teaching you about those things. Now, I was talking about animals, right? Remember, even plants, they'll be teaching you about different kinds of plants. Now, when they're teaching you about, especially when it comes to the cleansing, right? The cleansing and the kind of herbs that we use, right? The kind of herbs we use. If you've done cleansing, you use herbs and you do the cleansing. Mandal spirits, they tend to show you what actually happens, right? Remember that you're cleansing physical. They show you what actually happens with that, what happens with that plant, the properties you get from that plant, what comes of it, how the process works spiritually, the cleansing go like this, right? That is the man that we teach in dreams. Now, one they're teaching you about as well when you've got okay. When they're teaching you as well that when you need to femba, if you've got this ancestral cloth, right? They're teaching you that you need to femba. It means that they're going to be using animals and the nasty things that the animals get, or human beings and the nasty things that the human beings get. And they show you the process of fembing, meaning that you're getting rid of the things that are not needed in the human body, or the things that are not needed in the animal body, right? So they'll be showing you the nasty within nasty within nasty within nasty. Becomes like a fungi kind of thing. The nasty within the nasty within the nasty. Remember, I'm talking about teaching. I'm not saying that fembing is like that. I'm talking about when they're showing you now. Remember that they have to teach you. You have to learn to understand human beings. You have to understand nature. You have to understand bacteria and how we get them. Now they want to teach you that when we're fembising someone, we are clearing the process. Therefore, meaning that we are getting rid of the things that are not within the human body, or the things that are not needed on the animal, right? Meaning that things that goes within, that are not needed, that are nasty. Then you have this ancestral cloth, right? Ancestral cloth like that. Now, tomorrow we'll talk about the black and white ancestral. We'll talk about the black Njeti. Today we're talking about Maroon Njeti, and that is just that. All right, let's greet you because I think we are finished. We talked about this for too long. Okay. Ndawuwe mbuya banda, ndawuwe mkhulu ngobeni, ndawuwe awakwi, ndawuwe KM, ndawuwe fikile. Yes. So we were talking about the Maroon Njeti. Then we'll go and talk about the black Njeti tomorrow. Now, please do not be surprised in your dreams, because your dreams will actually show you the color of your Njeti cloth. And it's beautiful because as someone wearing this uniform, or whatever you call it, you're specializing in that line, meaning that your work, it is about that. So you're going to be learning a lot of things about that. So make sure that when they're teaching you about things, you go and study them so that they can come back with more information. Remember that they're teaching you, they're making you aware that there's this kind of bacteria. Then you go and study about that bacteria, because they even come with English names. Go and study about it and how it affects people and stuff like that. Then go back, they'll keep on giving you more information. When they're teaching you about animals and the way we're supposed to be living with them, and with the things that we're supposed to be living, especially for scorpions, mosquitoes, repellents and stuff like that, they will teach us about the plants that we're supposed to be growing within the home, so that you can repel those snakes or scorpions from going in. Therefore, when they're teaching you about a particular plant, go and study it and understand where you get it. Because when they see you going and learning about those things, they'll give you more information. Now, when they're teaching you about the inside intestine of a human being, nasty things, the things that we are consuming, nasty things, give us nasty things within. So go and study those things to try and understand what it is that the Mandela spirits want you to understand. Now, when they're teaching you about this airborne thing that we can get, remember, like I said, they give you the name. So when they're giving all that, go and study it. Go and understand it. Now, when they're showing you about trees, the Mandela spirits are not happy. You see things happening, floods after someone chopped the trees and stuff like that. You see water coming in full force because they're unhappy, isn't it? So you go and try to understand why people do these things. Why these kind of places? Why do they do these things? What can you do to stop it as well as a human being? Mandela spirit, Maroon Njeti wearer. right? Now, when they're teaching you about animals in zoos, obviously, sometimes there are things we cannot do. Oh, the only thing we can do is talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talking about it, it is good, isn't it? That please, let's not keep our animals like that. When you go to the zoo, study, look at the animals, and just try to see if it was you being put in there. Remember that even human beings, at some stage, they did put human beings in zoos. And look at the things that, why do they put this? Even if we were to study these animals, but why do we have to make them suffer while in the process of studying them? Because it is not good for their psyche, right? Then you try and talk about it. You understand? When you see things that are, and as well when they're teaching us about even the seeds they like teaching us about. Man, the spirits love that. Teaching about seeds and how we're supposed to be separating things, especially when we are planting things. Try to understand why they separate seeds like that when we are planting things, especially when we want to grow vegetables, isn't it, in the home. Try to understand why Mandela spirits show us this information. Try to understand it, because there's a reason behind it. There's a big reason. If we don't do things the right way, therefore, we're going to be affecting things. Everything's going to be affected. We're going to be affected as well. We're not going to get the right food the way they're supposed to come. They're not going to be breathing in nicely, getting the sunlight and stuff like that, right? Vitamin D's. Now, as well, these artificial lights in our street, we are unable to actually see nature as it's supposed to be guided by the sun, right? Those things, they affect us the way next time we won't even be able to see without these artificial lights, because we are turning our eyes into remember that the more you get used to light, the more it becomes difficult when you're in the dark, right? Because you used to light artificial. When you're there, put in the where you're supposed to be, it is everything is supposed to be natural. You have to understand that when it's nighttime, it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to feel like this. Even your eyes are supposed to open nicely like that. Get heightened, get your senses now working properly, meaning that your intuition is supposed to be working as it's supposed to be working, but it can't. Why? Because you're being used to be guided by artificial things, isn't it? Everything that is guiding you is artificial. Now, that is what the Mandela spirits don't like, especially with the Maroon Njeti. They come in full force for that. Now, when they're showing you negative things, we'll talk about this another day. So I think that is what we've done. Yes, we'll do this. We'll keep on continuing because Maroon Njeti is my color. So this is my things. Tomorrow we'll talk about the black Njeti. Then the day after we'll talk about different color. And then this week we'll be talking about different colors of Njeti, what I've been made aware of. And Ndawe